Hey guys, it's quickly again with another ROM review, and this time I've got the AICP version 12 based on the Android Nougat for the OnePlus 3, so stay tuned for that. So guys, Nougat is here and it's making a big splash everywhere around, and well, we are on the OnePlus 3 at least very lucky to have to just receive so many ROMs, which is really amazing. So yeah, let's get started now. First of all, yes, the fingerprint is working, so that is a huge step forward. I really appreciate that. Nougat is fairly new, so yes, do expect a few bugs here and there, but honestly, I have been using this for as my daily driver for some time now, and I really like this as the daily driver. It's been really amazing. I really didn't have any issues with that. So yeah, let's get started with the settings now. In the first settings menu, I will let you know guys, this is AICP, which is this one, and it is on the version 7.0, so you do get the whatever this function here. So that is the Easter egg for Naugat, so that is really cool. And this is the nightly version, and nightly version is the only one which is available right now, but still nightly version is pretty amazing. The October patches are already applied here, so that is the latest version of patches available. It is using the CyanogenMod kernel from Jenkins and AICP server 1. So yeah, if you can decode that, well and good for you. So now let's go through the settings now. First of all, Wi-Fi is working, but as most people have already suggested, it is kind of sluggish for most reasons. Bluetooth is working. I have been using it with my Bluetooth headset, no issues there. SIM cards, both of the SIM cards are working, and I am using LTE right now, and it does have the VoLTE support, so I am using the VoLTE of this ROM. It's really cool. Data usage mode, I mean, it's really amazing, and it's really something which I personally am using for data monitoring on this device, and that is really cool. Here is where all the extra settings lie, so that is called the AICP extras. So let's get into that now. It is a application format, so you can slide from there and go to display and animation. You do have power animation, power mode menu display, so you can actually see how the power menu is there. Toast animation can also be customized, so you can have that. In the status bar option, you do have Super SU indicator, and this does have Super SU, and you don't need to install Super User application. It does have the CyanogenMod Super SU options. It does have the 4G display 4G instead of LTE option. That is also cool. You do have battery bar, and you can customize the location of it. Traffic indicator is available, and that is something which I've been finding more and more useful for my personal usage, so that's pretty amazing. AICP logo is there, and it kind of feels different, but it is an AICP. Breathing notification, there is a header there, but it's not it's not usable right now, so I'm guessing there's going to be a newer version available with that. Now this one does have an OTA update available, which I'll talk to you guys in the coming time. So yeah, the notification drawer, you do have brightness slider there with the brightness icon, and this has been really useful for me, and I've been using this for some time now. And there's also the notification drawer customization here with the edit button. You can customize all of these applications. There aren't much. Let me just tell you guys that there aren't many applications which you can use, so there aren't many shortcuts, but I guess the support is coming. Now it also has option for rows and the landscape rows, so that is amazing. I really like this option, and you can also customize the number of columns. You can just put one column and everything is in a line here. So yeah, you can pretty much do a lot of options here, and this is something which I really appreciate. Even six icons per row, that is insane, and you can pretty much fit everything there is to fit on this one, so that is really amazing. I really appreciate this. I would have appreciated this option in a CM13 ROM, because well, I do use a lot of shortcuts in my daily drivers. Now in the lock screen options, you do have double tap on the lock screen to turn off lock screen torch, fingerprint notification, vibration, all of that is available, and that is pretty nice to see. Panel point, where you can customize most of the panels here, and you can put an accent color here, so that will be this one. There is a lot of options. Accent color or custom color, you can just go red if you're feeling crazy, you can have that, and you can do a lot of stuff with this. There is, it actually is limited by the imagination. You can even increase the stroke thickness because you might be crazy. Trash gap, volume dialog transparency, all of that can be customized. Power menu transparency, all of that can be customized. So yeah, where you should, this one has the launch music app whenever you plug in the headphones, screenshot sound, disable immersion mode messages, so you can actually have that. And that is it in the AICP extras settings. So that is it for now, I should say, because there will be features coming up, because AICP is one of the more feature heavy ROM available for this device. So yeah, I am expecting a lot of stuff. If you have any issues, you can log it and enable logcat from here. So that is something which is really useful to help out the developers have a functioning ROM available. It does have navigation, fling, and the smartboard and fling settings, so you can customize it to fling settings, and you can actually use that. And I have found fling bar more useful than the navigation bar because I do have hardware buttons. So in the display options, whatever you find here is basically what you would find in a Nougat ROM. It does have live display, and I do use live display a lot. You can have color profiles, astronomy, which is just red, cinema, which is just there, photography, which is basically RGB, sRGB, and also automatic mode for night, and for low blue light, so that your eyes don't bleed. So that's also really cool. It does have ambient display, and it does work out as you would expect ambient display to work, and that is really nice to have. And this is something which I really appreciate. I've already talked about this in my previous Android N lookup. So Android display sizes now supports non-reboot display size changes, so that is amazing. I really like that. I just keep it to the lowest setting and just go home with it, so because this gives me a lot of real estate. It does have battery light option where you can customize the battery light available, so you can have red, all of that for 90% charge and 100% charge. I normally keep it as blue because it is a distinct color. You do have the notification light also, which you can customize for any application, so that is also really nice to have. Now battery life, let me talk to you guys about battery life. I've been normally what I do is I just charge my phone to 100% in the morning and just give with that. I use the phone through my daily usage, and normally on a normal ROM I'm left with about 40, 46, 36% of battery life, but with this one I was at about 56%. So that really does say something about the Nougat's battery life, so that is really amazing. And as always, the RAM usage is also much better than the previous versions, because well, it is Android and it is getting better and better. It does have the buttons option where you can enable the on-screen buttons here, and also you can add functionality to your hardware buttons like double tap to sleep. That is something which I have personally added, and I really appreciate that. Also, short pressing the reset button can customize stuff, but this is basically the CyanogenMod styled button customizers. Now what I've noticed in the double tap of the home button to sleep the phone is that if you double tap the button, sometimes it just doesn't work. That has happened to me a lot of times, and it's just something which you have to live with. The gestures are working, and this does work out really nicely. I have actually used camera and flashlight, and it does work. And one more thing, the flashlight is working, and that is something which I really appreciate. Additional buttons, the slider is working, and I do use slider more than often, and I have found it to be pretty good in most regards. Now it does have the Cyanogen status bar in the privacy guard settings. You do have privacy guard, which you can customize with the fingerprint protected app, so that is really cool to have. I personally do not use that. I use a third-party application, but it is available. Now in the status bar option, you do have the status bar customizer where you can customize the number of status bar icons, and you can actually enable or disable whatever you want. You can even customize the battery option, whatever shows, always show percentage and all that. Pretty nice to see. These are not really available in a new released ROM, so that is really cool. You do have hidden battery percentage inside the icon, outside the icon. Clock style, I personally put it to left with AM/PM indicator. You can actually have that. Date indicator is not something you can avail in this ROM, but I would have liked to have that option in the future releases. Now you do have status bar brightness control and show notification count, which is pretty amazing. And the notification stuff in the Nougat release is new. As you can see, you can swipe, you can reply directly, and all that is really amazing. One thing which I do have a gripe about is if you have ULT enabled, you cannot get rid of this option. If you guys have any method of getting rid of this, that would be really appreciated. I would have liked to have that. So yeah. Now lastly, in the system UI tuner, you can actually enable the do not disturb mode, and whatever that does, you can customize that. In the other option, you do have power notification controls, which you can enable enable and set levels to each application so that it goes up, it fires up notification accordingly. So that is also something which is available there. So yeah, that is it in the settings menu. So that is quite possibly the most settings you're going to get with the Nougat ROM at this point in time. So that is really amazing. I personally am a huge fan of AICP ROMs. It does give you a lot of options. So here is the Antutu benchmark score, which is about 155,000, which is probably the highest which I have received with a ROM on the OnePlus 3. So that is probably because of the 3D score, because the 3D score is actually pretty amazing, because I am guessing it is because of the Vulkan score. This does have Vulkan enabled, and I'm going to just guess it has Vulkan enabled because 37,000 is not something which you get normally. In the ranking also it is high in the list, but yeah, there is higher phones because, well, new phones have come out anyways. So, and I was trying to get the Vulkan stuff just to see if the Vulkan is enabled, but in the display options and in the Android option I couldn't get anything there. It just shows OpenGL ES 3.2 as the GPU version. If you guys have any idea how to check the Vulkan release version and all that, do let me know. I would like to get that rolling. Now it does have an OTA update stuff. You can actually download and install OTA on the fly, and that does work pretty nicely. But again, OTA in this is just downloading the full ROM, so that is not exactly the incremental update which I would prefer manually. I would actually like to have the incremental update stuff which is available with other ROMs like Moki and other ROMs. So yeah. Now dash charging is working, so all you guys can rest assured dash charging is working. It does go up to 3500 milliamps, so you can charge quickly. So that's also cool. Now in the games, I have noticed that the games do run noticeably faster than a Cyanogen mod based ROM, but not noticeably faster. It's about equal to a OxygenOS based ROM, but that may be a placebo effect for me and in my side. But I do have problem with some ROMs of some games like Hungry Shark. There are issues. Well, randomly the game would just freeze and just they are just frozen for about 2 to 5 seconds, and that really takes you out of the experience there. So yeah, I would expect all these issues with a beta release of the ROM, and essentially this ROM is a beta ROM. You cannot actually say that this is a full released ROM. This is a nightly release. So yeah, that is there. Almost all the applications which I use on a daily basis is working, and I didn't have any issues with most of the stuff here. I was actually having issues with the network loading correctly, but that is because of the APN settings, nothing more. So yeah, let me show you guys the boot animation, which is pretty cool. So there you have it. That is the boot animation for AICP, and if you have ever used an AICP ROM after Marshmallow, you probably have already seen this boot animation. It's pretty cool. It's really active. So yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much it about the ROM. The battery life, I'm really impressed with the battery life of Nougat release, and that has been really cool. The only issue personally I have is that Xposed is not available for this ROM yet, which is, well, any Nougat ROM yet. So that is just something which I have to stomach. And also some people have had issues with the hardware buttons not going off. I personally didn't have any issues with it, as long as I didn't use it. That just went off. I didn't have any issues with that. I'm not entirely sure if it is fixed or it's just, well, one of those things which many people have, but I don't. So yeah. Now the camera is going to be a very big issue. So you can see the front camera is working, and I will switch to the camera also. The front camera is working and the back camera is working with 4K. So that is a big deal. I do like the camera in this one quite a lot, but it does have the overexposed photos whenever you are using the flash. As you can see nothing. It's just white because the flash was used. And if you turn off the flash and take a photograph in this, let me just see if you can do that. Yeah, if you just turn off the flash, the photo is reasonably good, if not the best. But I would actually compare this to a CM ROM. It's not the best quality you can get, and also this is not the best lighting for this photo. But yeah, that is something there. You can see I have taken a 4K video, and it is working pretty nicely. I didn't have any issues with that. With the microphone, it's all working correctly. So yeah, just so you guys know. So I guess that is it about the ROM. I probably have gone through almost everything which I had to say about this ROM. This is by far the most stable Nougat release I have used on this device. It is not perfect, but for most people, if you're not using expose, if you're not going crazy with the camera, this will this will do as a daily driver, and I've certainly felt that this will do as a daily driver for me if I didn't want themes or exposed modules. So yeah, there you have it. I guess that much is it about the ROM. Hope you guys liked the video. Please share, subscribe, and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.